There are people that we are privileged to know, people we're privileged to meet, people that we're privileged to encounter, but then there are those, the very few, that we're extremely blessed to experience. And you, Mutade, are not only a walking encyclopedia, a wealth of wisdom that we are so privileged to experience.
We're very proud to see initiatives like this. I then went on to do other things after 76. Only in 1983, at the age of 27, I was first year drama school at Tabz. 27. And then I went on to study for 8.5 years after that, and came out with my master's degree. I didn't mean to. Here's what I'm saying. It pays to study your craft. It pays. Kill them afat. What's what after? Afat. Because fame expires. Fame expires. Invest in your craft, then you have longevity and sustainability in this industry. But it goes first with start. Start. He was telling me that they had no penny, they had no sponsor, they had no guarantee, they had nothing, but they had a dream and they went for it. When money comes, you must find you on the way. Because here's the problem. If success finds you and you're not ready for success, you'll end up on drugs and alcohol and women and all these things, and you become arrogant and you'll expire in no time. Success is dangerous. Hear me out. Success is dangerous. That's why you hear a fool and his money are soon parted. You know the stories of people who've gotten millionaires from Lotto and other places. And so I'm here in support of this initiative, Soweto Film Market. Now please understand, people go to festivals and they don't know how to play the festival game. The festival game. I'm glad we have authors and script writers here. Bagiti, listen, people stop us everywhere. I've got a film script and I think they don't know the science of writing a film script. It's a complete language by itself. And people think you don't want to open doors for them. And so we will come and do masterclasses when you have your film art here, so that people know what it takes to put a concept together, to put together a pitch deck, to put together your pilot project, to put together so that you can tell Soweto stories in a way that nobody else can.
As the teacher had said that, do not allow yourself to reach a ceiling, you will expire. This is a man who's bursting through ceilings. He's bursting through every single platform that tries to confine him, doing incredible things, not just an actor and a musician, but also as a producer and director. Bahaito, please do help me welcome the one and only Mutlazi Mafate.
I'm excited to discover exceptional talent, celebrate creativity, and showcase Soweto's cinematic excellence on the global stage. You know, in Soweto we are We've influenced subculture in South Africa by far. You know, TV, music. I mean, you saw it when you were outside there. What this place has ignited. And so what you are doing, boy, is that you're reviving that energy, you know, and you're inspiring young people to go, ever start, right? And we know that, I mean, you need education, and we need, you know, workshops, which are crucial in nurturing the next generation of filmmakers and artists. By providing accessible training and mentorship, I'm sure we can all empower creatives to develop their skills and tell their own stories. Most importantly, it's crucial that we inspire young people.
The real culture, the real stories will always originate in the spaces that the people in elite spaces don't want to be in. They originate in the township, they originate in the rural areas, they originate in the areas where we've experienced struggle. And that's where our great stories are born out of. So for me to be able to be involved with a festival that is rooted in Soweto means everything. And I think it'll mean everything to young Black children who look at you and look at the stories that hopefully will come out of these spaces. I don't want to end on a downer, but I do have to just highlight how important stories are. So I told you I grew up overseas. I remember the first time Mary Makeba was on the Cosby Show. The kids that I went to primary school with had no idea what South Africa was. They really didn't know. And then Mary Makeba guest starred on an episode of the Cosby Show. And the next day I went to school, and every single kid was treating me like I was a celebrity. They were like, wait a minute, Lucy, aren't you from South Africa? You're from that same place as Miriam Makeba. She was on that Cosby Show last night, and she was singing the, what's that song of Mam Miriam? The Pata Pata song. And that's how a lot of American children were introduced to the story of South Africa, was through a television show. And later, as I've grown up and traveled the world and been to other festivals around the world, the two biggest things, actually I'll say three, biggest things that people bring up when they find out I'm from South Africa is one, Mary Makeba. Then they talk about Shaka Zulu. And then they also say, have you been to Soweto? I hear it's dope. So Soweto continuously comes up in conversation in France, in Ireland, in Germany, in America, in all of these places. Soweto is a vibe, guys. It really is. And I think we need to take pride in this place, and we need to contribute to building it up internally. And I also encourage entrepreneurs who've come out of Soweto, people who've built, you know, amazing businesses for themselves, to also support the arts and support young storytellers and young filmmakers to tell these stories. And hopefully in the future we'll have a session where we can have, you know, all Soweto stories, you know, that are coming into the film festival. And I just have to say, for the last thing, as I was driving in here, the latest show I've been working on had a storyline about gambling. So we had a woman in the story who was addicted to online gambling. And she was like a middle-aged, married mother, someone you would never suspect. And when we were developing this story, as a writer, I had to do a lot of research into it. And so I spoke to a lot of people, I started speaking to my employees and to the crew, only to find out almost 80% of them had been engaged in gambling at some stage. Some were in the throes of it, in the throes of the addiction, some had gotten out of it. But what I started to hear were stories of families being torn apart, stories of divorce over stories over losing houses, taking kids to rehab, over gambling. And it made me think about, the similar stories we've heard about alcohol and what it's done to our communities.
This is a man who walks with great diligence, but also remarkable humility. You're not going to see him walking there like I'm the most important person in the room. You will feel it in the sense of how fearless he is, but just how you start, but also how you keep going when the going gets tough. We really do appreciate what you do. And let this be, when young people speak about my role model, I'm not saying that there is necessarily an issue with looking at celebrities and people who we consider to be or somewhat of great importance and esteem. But when we look at our history books and individuals who are willing to take the road less traveled, willing to do the hard work, willing to do what and go where other people aren't necessarily willing to go. When we open our history books, I pray that the name of Thapelo will be there. You are remarkable. So, a humble welcome with that great introduction. Please do help me welcome the founder and the CEO, my brother, Thapelo, never failing, never settling, always going further, always striving more. Tabz. Give a round of applause! On our feet, actually, if we can, let's get on our feet. The person who's willing, and also who brings that attention, and Jozi, and all of these people in one room, and Sisu in one room. The floor is yours, bro.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still a TV presenter. I'm still the energetic guy. I'm still the MC. Thank you so much, Candace Murisele. Oh, Candace Silo, now married. Candace Silo, for that warm introduction. I am absolutely humbled and I'm grateful. And just to touch on it a bit, Candace trained me as a presenter. Round of applause to Candace. Back in the days of Yo TV, we'll talk about it some other day. But yes, my name is Tabz Motloung. I am the founder of the Soweto Film Market, a co-founder rather. Where's Tammy? Tammy, please come up here. Let's give a round of applause to this man. Sleepless nights, arguing on the phone, presentation. This man believed in the vision and we worked on it together. I remember, this is outside Soweto Film Market. He just saw potential in Thapelo. I remember us running to meetings. One particular meeting I'll never forget in Bryanston. We got off a taxi together, running to that meeting. I shed tears and I said to him, it's gonna be okay. And here he is, the head of marketing for Soweto Film Market. This man has worked on every document that Soweto Film Market has produced. Thank you for your diligence. Thank you for your excellence. May God honor you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Candace. And it wouldn't be appropriate beginning the plans and everything without thanking the Most High God, all-knowing, all-understanding, all-caring. We all gathered here today, not because of our strength, but His. We are because He is. And sometimes to become, you have to unbecome. I had to be no one, so I can be built to become someone. And in the journey of becoming, every process is important. Now, in that light, I want to acknowledge Photon. Thank you so much to Photon the clan for the beautiful car, firstly. an SUV. Hi. Yes, round of applause, round of applause. Photon is the first commercial brand that believed in the Soweto Film Market. With a beautiful car outside, please go check it out. They're a brand that is growing into prominence in South Africa. A very strong brand that I believe is going to be the biggest thing soon. So thank you so much for being our vehicle sponsor. And secondly, I would like to acknowledge Icarus Media. That lady over there, Tandy, sometimes we call her Tandy. Thank you so much for believing in the Soweto Film Market. We are absolutely grateful for your selflessness. We are super grateful for all the hard work you've put in. And thank you for journeying with us to a great journey of greatness and excellence. And now, I would also like to acknowledge a brand that put me on billboards and today has contributed as well. In those nice beauty bags that you see, there's like nice sweets inside. That is the STUMBO candy. I'm the STUMBO ambassador, and it would only be right for STUMBO to be here. Thank you so much for your presence. I'm truly grateful and honored. To a pageant that recognizes women, Mrs. Soweto, thank you for your presence. Yes, thank you to the Soweto for believing in me. Thank you to Ayetu. Thank you to Tabokho. We just had one dinner meeting, and that's where it all happened. That's where we got the venue sponsor. Thank you so much to Ayetu Heritage Hall. Thank you so much to Ayetu Venue for the opportunity to be here today. And exciting news is that during the Soweto Film International Film Festival and the Soweto Film Market,